Well guys, like the first few seconds of my intro clip corrupted, so hey guys, Royal here, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys the best mage loadouts and the best way to build your set. Now whether this build be the cheapest one or the one that digs the deepest hole in your pocket, I'm going to be showing you guys how to build the best one. Alright guys, so before this video begins, there is one last thing I want to say. First of all, if you guys do find this video helpful, make sure to leave a like down below, but as you can see on your screen, a very small portion of you guys are subscribed that watch my videos, and if you guys already watch my videos and enjoy them, there's no reason not to subscribe. It would mean a lot to me, and more of my videos will start popping up in your recommended section, in your sub box, so please be sure to do that, as not very many people of you are. Anyways, with that out of the way, make sure to turn on post notifications to make sure you guys never miss an upload. You guys can click on the iCard in the top right of your screen if you guys are interested in checking out more Hypixel Skyblock guides and other videos like this one. Also, big shout out to deleting his channel being in the description. He did help me a lot in building these sets. But without further ado, we're not going to waste any more time, so let's get right into the video. Alright, so the first set we have here is the Y set. However, we're not completely done yet. But one thing I did want to quickly say is that for all of these sets, including this one, the reforge that we ideally want is necrotic, and that is because it gives you a lot of intel. Basically, in dungeons, you guys can get this thing called a necromancer's brooch, which is a reforged stone, and you guys can apply the necrotic reforge to your armor. And ideally, this is better than Y's because it does give you a lot more intel. So this is the best reforge that we want on all of our armor. Alright, now with that out of the way, what we actually want is we want 3/4 Y's, and we want the dark goggles. Now you may be wondering how you get the dark goggles. You see, it gives you plus 150 intel, and your abilities deal 50% more damage to undead monsters. So the armor that you want to be using for this build is 3/4 Y's and the dark goggles. This is easily the most budget option for the set. However, that doesn't mean it's necessarily bad, especially considering the fact that if you don't have that high of a catacombs level yet, you're not going to be able to use a lot of the better gear, and especially if you're running on a budget or if you don't want to dig that deep of a hole in your pocket, this set is the way to go. Alright guys, so the next thing we have right here is the Bonzo's mask with 3/4 zombie soldier armor. Now again, we do want to reforge it all to necrotic. Although this set may not be as cheap as the Wise one, it still isn't too expensive, and it's really good as well. This is the main set that most people use because it is sort of the mid-game-ish set, and it's also just really good. However guys, do keep in mind that in order to use this set, you guys do need to be catacombs level 9, or else you're not going to be able to use it. Now guys, the reason this set is so good is because it does give you a lot of intel and defense, which is really good. And also, if you go ahead and check the Bonzo's mask's ability, basically what this does is if you're gonna die, you don't die. Okay, let me explain that for a bit here. Basically, if all your health drops and you basically die, you're not really gonna die, and you're gonna get damage immunity, gain some strength, get your health back, and it's really good, especially because the cooldown of the strength bonus is based off of your dungeoneering skill level. So the higher that is, the more OP this becomes. Of course, it doesn't only work in the catacombs. However, it is very good, especially because this is a dungeons item, and Smash does actually take a large role in the reason why the set is so good. Now of course, the set isn't really the cheapest, but it's not really expensive at all either. It's only 700k approximately, since the Bonzo mask is around 200k and the zombie soldier is going for around 400 to 500k. Yeah, regardless, this is a really amazing set to have. This is the one and only set that changes per class, and with the mage one, it's really good. As you can see, you guys can actually get insane amounts of intelligence with the set. Just with the base set alone, each piece gives you 50 intelligence, and obviously you can keep upgrading and upgrading it, and I've seen some people get around like 4,000 intelligence off of this thing, which is really good. Its set bonus is pretty nice too. It helps you, level up your armor up a lot since your stats go up easily, and its other stats overall are pretty good too. However, of course, the intel is the main portion. Guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, being able to hit a number as crazy as 4,000 intel using this set is honestly insane, and that's what, in my opinion, makes this the best armor set. Of course, this is the most expensive set by far, coming in at around 15 mil in total just to buy this set. But yeah guys, really all we have for the armor set. Hey guys, I forgot to record this part, but I did want to say that the best pet for the mage builds, no matter which build you're using, is always going to be the sheep pet. You could use some other pets that give you, high intel. However, the sheep pet outclasses all of them by a lot. If you guys are interested in knowing how to get the sheep pet fast, go ahead and click on the iCard in the top part of your screen, and you guys will see a video that I made a couple days ago. And yeah, make sure to go check that out. And without further ado, let's get back into this. For all your accessories to Bazaar in order to get the most intel that you can. This of course works for a really good combo with the adaptive set, as we were talking about earlier, and you guys can get a ton of intel with the proper build. Alright guys, so now that we got the reforges out of the way for the accessories, I do want to quickly mention that the best reforge that you guys want on all your weapons is the Heroic Reforged. Now the reason you do want the Heroic Reforged is because this is the one that will give you the most intel, and you guys can get the highest damage output with this Reforge on your weapon. Speaking of weapons, I think it's about time we get right into them. Alright guys, so the first weapon that I did want to talk about right here is indeed the Ink Wand. Now the Ink Wand is very good, especially considering it doesn't cost as much as some of the other weapons that we're going to be talking about. It's not exactly the cheapest weapon that we're going to be showing today, coming in at about 1.5 mil to craft it and around 3 mil to buy it. However, it's not the most expensive either. Now its ability is what makes this really good. The Ink Bomb, basically you right click it and you shoot an ink bomb out of your wand, and not only do you deal a massive amount of damage, but you also give them blindness. Now I know it only says it deals 11,900 damage, but one of my favorite things that were introduced in a Dungeons update is that now the damage on your magic weapon scales with your intelligence. This means that if you guys get your mage set ready, whether it be the 3/4 wise set, the 3/4 zombie soldier set, or the adaptive set, the more intel you have, the more damage this thing's gonna do. So you guys can actually come up with some pretty cool combinations and make this thing pretty OP. I don't know why I keep doing this, but at the beginning kind of cuts out for a bit, but just for context, we're talking about the voodoo doll right here. It also only has a 5-second cooldown, which is pretty insane. However, it does cost 200 mana, but that shouldn't really be too much of a problem if you have your ideal set. And also guys, this is by far the cheapest weapon that we're going to be talking about today. It comes in at about 800k, which really isn't too expensive compared to everything else that we've been talking about and that we're going to talk about. So you shouldn't have too much of a problem getting this either. Alright guys, so now we are talking about the Frozen Scythe, which is a really OP weapon. And this thing deals an insane amount of damage. It also has piercing. So yeah, we're just going to get right into it. It also slows the enemies down for 5 seconds. And probably the best part about it is the fact that this ability does piercing damage. Meaning you guys can just pierce through a horde of mobs with this ability and deal so much damage to all of them, which is really OP, and that makes this weapon really good. Now this weapon is really high in demand right now because it's so OP. However, the prices are a little bit unstable, so I assume you'd be able to find one for anywhere around 15 to 20 mil. That's the normal ideal price that people are going to be selling it for. So yes, it is really expensive. However, it is worth it if you guys can get your hands on it. Also, if you guys don't have enough money to get it and you guys want to get it another way, go ahead and click on the icon in the top part of your screen. After this video, you guys can go ahead and click on that video. I did make a video a little bit ago explaining how you can get the Frozen Scythe really fast. It was also a really good way to make a ton of money if you guys are interested in that as well, so be sure to check that out. But anyways, let's get back into the video. Guys, this weapon is actually so good that people are actually starting to use it for dragon fights now, just because of the fact that you guys can get such good DPS with this thing because it has no cooldown. So yeah, as you guys can tell, the Frozen Scythe is pretty OP and it's a really good weapon. Next up, we're talking about the Bonzo Staff, which is, in my opinion, sort of like a miniature Frozen Scythe, just because it doesn't deal as much damage. However, it is pretty similar with the no cooldown. But anyways, let's just get right into it. So once you right click it, it shoots balloons that, you know, once they hit your enemy, they deal some explosions and they do a ton of damage. Now from what I've heard and from what I've seen, the damage output on this thing is relatively close to the Frozen Scythe. The Frozen Scythe is better in my opinion because of the piercing damage and because it does deal a little bit of extra damage. However, the Bonzo Staff is also good because, like the Frozen Staff, it has no cooldown, so it has some pretty good DPS. At the moment, it's usually going for about 3 to 4 mil. So this is a pretty good alternative to the Frozen Scythe, considering it's much cheaper and there's also no cooldown, so you can get some pretty good DPS. However, do remember that you're not going to have as high of a damage output, but regardless, this weapon is still pretty good. Alright guys, now for the last weapon that we have in this video, we're going to be talking about the Pigment Sword. Now, in my opinion, this is the best weapon out of everything we've talked about, and it's also my favorite. I'm not going to go too much in depth into it because I do have a couple of videos in the works regarding it. Be sure to stay on the lookout for that, turn on post notifications. They should be coming up pretty soon. But anyways, I'm still going to briefly explain it for you guys, or at least the important part. So the main reason this weapon is really good is the ability, because as I did mention at the beginning of this video, the fact that intel plays such a crucial role in magic damage right here made this thing extremely OP. Now what makes it so good is obviously the ability. First of all, it has no cooldown, just like the Frozen Scythe and the Bonzo Staff, meaning you can get insane DPS with this thing. And also, as you can see, with its base damage output, you can deal up to 1785 over the 5 seconds, because that's how long that stays for. And again, because it does scale with your intel and the fact that there is no cooldown, this weapon is extremely overpowered. And yes, that does mean this is also the most expensive that we're going to be talking about today. As of right now, this is going for about 20 to 25 mil, so it is really expensive. However, you can make some very interesting builds with this, and in my opinion, it's easily the best weapon on this list. But yeah, like I did say, I will be releasing a couple more videos regarding this Pigment Sword if you guys want some more information. Trust me, you guys don't want to miss out on those, so make sure to turn those notifications on so you don't miss out on them. I'll have them coming out to you guys very soon. Alrighty guys, so that is gonna wrap this video up here. Hopefully you guys found this helpful. If you did, I'd appreciate if you guys could show me some help by clicking the like button down below and subscribing down below, because as I did mention, very few of you guys are actually subscribed to watch my videos. I did recently hit 1.1k though, so I want to thank you guys for that. If you guys could subscribe and get that number up, we're on the road to 2k right now. I'd really appreciate it. Remember to turn those notifications on so you guys don't miss out on any new content, because like I did say, I'm going to be releasing 2 very important videos regarding the pigment sword that you guys don't want to miss out on. Once again, shout out to Leading for helping me build these sets for this video. You guys can check his channel out in the link in the description. Without further ado, I think it's a great place to wrap it off here. I'm Royal, and I'm on. See you next time. Peace.